Hey y'all, this is Keisha from Lorraine's Treats and Things. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today you guys are making some my specialty greens. They're called spicy sweet and sour collard greens. If you hear anybody in the background, you might hear my grandchild, the TV, or whatever. Okay? Anyway, so the meat that I chose to use is bacon because it's just easier for me. I don't know. I just like the taste of bacon and greens. It just and cabbage, whatever. I like it. I don't want ham hock, neck bone, turkey neck. I don't want none of that. I have eaten that. I like when I eat it if somebody else is cooking it, but when I cook it, I like to cook things the way I like to cook them. Even traditional collard greens, I still am going to use bacon. Okay? Yes. So anyways, I'm just cutting up my vegetables. I broke apart my bacon, and I just use garlic, clove, green onion. I mean, not green onion. One green bell pepper and a white onion. And basically, I'm just gonna chop all that up, just a rough chop, and put all
What is this book about?
in my pot. And you hear my loud voice, and I'm just slicing these up. And then I'm gonna do a little rough chop, and that'll be that. Yes, I'm pretty sure ain't nobody ever made these before because I've never tasted them before until I started to make them a couple of years ago. And I literally have been making greens, collard greens, this exact way ever since. And it is a hit. It's a different taste, of course, because they're spicy and sweet and sour. You know, spicy, sweet and sour collard greens. So it's an acquired taste. Most people like the traditional ones. I do too. I still eat the traditional ones. I just don't make them, but I do eat them, especially if I order a soul food plate or something like that. They're more traditional or whatever. But if you want like a specialty collard greens, then try this recipe. I'm telling you, if you like a sweet and sour, savory type person, then you definitely will like these greens. And I don't know if you've ever been to P.F. Chang's or not, but they have a sweet and sour soup. So just think about that. It's similar to that taste, the pot liquor on there. Yeah, so I only add, usually I add garlic powder, but there was no garlic powder, so I used the garlic salt, black pepper, and some seasoning salt. That is it. And I can't tell you how much of each to use, but you got to like eyeball it. Once I season, and the goal is to not have to come back and re-season or whatever. But if you do have to adjust, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. At least if you have under the amount of seasoning you want, when you adjust it, it won't be overly seasoned. This was perfectly seasoned. I got to put the hot sauce, crushed red pepper, and then I'm going to use 5 teaspoons of sugar, white granulated sugar. And that's probably like 1/4, a little over 1/4 of white vinegar that I'm using. And yes, remember I have to get the balance of the sweet and sour. So that's why I use the vinegar, hot sauce, the spice, the crushed red pepper. It's all going to balance out to be that spicy, sweet and sour taste. So yeah, like I said, 5 teaspoons of white sugar. And this is this particular seasoning amount is to 1 of those bags of collard greens. So I don't know how many bunches of greens that will be, but yeah. So, and that's how it looks after it's seasoned, which looks amazing already. And I'm just basically pushing them down into the water. So the pot is like 3/4 filled with water. I like to leave a little at the top. And then I'm going to cover this so it can come to a boil quickly. So my fire's kind of high. And I had to put my little pat of butter in there. And also, like I said, I want this to boil. So I put the top on. Then when I hear it start coming to a boil, I take the top off and let it boil for like 15-20 minutes. And then we're going to cover it back up and simmer really, really low for like a few hours until they're nice and tender and just delicious. but still have some integrity because I don't like mushy greens. I don't want no greens that's mushy, so yeah. But definitely tender enough they're easy to chew. But if you don't like spicy stuff, don't. You're not gonna like this. They are spicy. If you have a cold or something like that, these will probably be perfect for you to eat. Or even if you just drink the hot liquor off of there, the juice, you probably would. That would help you a lot with your cold or whatever. Yes, these are definitely fall, winter weather proof greens. Okay. Yes. And this is probably after maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours. They already doing good. You see how that water boiled down. You don't need to add no water. The goal is when you put the water in the first time, you don't have to put it anymore, you know. Look at that. Now I'm about to taste that pot liquor. So this is probably almost about 2 hours of cooking. And I want to taste the juice because I want to see if it's seasoned perfectly. And it is. I did my big one with this one. Yep. It's spicy. That spice went down my throat, child, when I slurped it up. That mean like it's great. I'm about to choke on the spice. And these are perfectly done. They're ready. I turned my fire off. Excellent. Perfect. And that's how you want your collard greens to look. And I'm just basically tasting them right here for y'all. I don't know what I'm blowing because the greens ain't even to my mouth yet. I don't know what I'm blowing. There they go. Delicious. And if you guys try this recipe, let me know. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on TikTok. And y'all have a most amazing day. And so if y'all see somebody make these greens, y'all know it's from me first, okay? So anyways, this is Keisha from Lorraine's Treats and Things. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.